Thank you all very much for coming. Thank you for bringing this film to the generation this year. It's a great film. And I think there are a lot of questions or comments in the audience. Yeah, I already see some. Maybe I start with a little question. I just want to ask you, to tell us more about this solidarity among women in your film. I think this is one of the strongest themes in this film, and maybe you can tell us more about that.
I'm gonna try in English. Yes, I think that in the process of making this film, this became the main topic and the most important thing for me to say in a movie. Because I think that as women, if we take individual paths to fight society back, we are not gonna succeed. So we have to understand that we are stronger together. And that's why, I brought to this movie this theme about solidarity became so strong.
Should we continue with the next question? Yes, I think to our left, up there is a question, please.
Okay, hi. Thank you for this amazing movie here. Yes, I found the topic of solidarity very strong in your movie, and I found it great how you showed it. Like the group was really strong unity, and it was really, for me, like it looked like a great friendship. And I was wondering, like the last scene in the movie was like really strong, and I was very curious how you would solve this situation at the party. And it was really touching, like how the girls confronted the guy and how the guys then came, and like this whole group scene. But then it changed to something that was more like a general critique, like the women against the men. And that was actually kind of confusing me, because I found the group was very strong in the movie, and I didn't have the feeling that there was this tension, and in the end it kind of broke out, and the end was like this unity of women. How was your motive, and how did you explain, or did you intend to show the tension before?
Igor is our translator, he will translate the next part.
You are right when you say that the Baguidá and her male friends are like a unity, like they are friends, and the guys from her crew are really cool men, except from Clever. He's kind of asshole. But the tension between Baguidá and her friends are there, because that's the point. When, on the first scene, the guy, Clever, made that joke, with, you are my muse, and everybody stays quiet. This is not cool. This is already a tension between the man and the girl.
Eu acho que a tensão existe o tempo todo, mas talvez, às vezes, ela só seja percebida quando existe uma reação das mulheres.
I think that this tension exists all the time in the film, but sometimes it's only perceived when women are able to speak up.
happens in the last scene. That's why maybe some people just realize this tension on the last scene because of what Karina just said.
Maybe the next question is for you. On our left, there's another one, please.
So, a lot of things to say, and congrats on the film. It's really powerful, it's political. I have a lot of questions, but I will just try to make 2 questions. But I would like to say that it's beautiful to see a really colorful casting. It's really well written. And my question is based on the screenplay. How was this process? And the distance between what exactly you write and what exactly you film. For example, you have improvisation, you allow them to improvise, and how was this process? Thank you.
Oi, tudo bem? Eu sou Josefina, roteirista junto com a Caru. Bom, a Caru tinha escrito vários tratamentos do roteiro. Eu entrei no projeto para trabalhar mais na estrutura e focar mais nos personagens da Baguidá e seus amigos. Anteriormente a gente tinha muitos personagens secundários, focávamos bastante nos conflitos do mundo adulto e entendimos que precisávamos focar na Baguidá.
Hi, I am Josefina. I'm a scriptwriter with Caru in the film. Caru wrote several versions of the script before when I entered to this project that was so important for us to focus on structure and on characters. And in that moment we had a lot of secondary characters in that phase of writing, and the secondary characters were more related to the adult world, and that's what we were missing something, and then we decided to focus on Baguidá, on Grace, and from there develop the film.
Então, posteriormente escrevemos o roteiro, a maior parte da estrutura do filme está aí no que vocês assistiram. Claro que quando as atrizes entraram no processo, elas ficaram um tempo bastante grande ensaiando e trabalhando as cenas. Aí surgiram muitas cenas novas, algumas cenas que tínhamos escrito caíram, outras descobrimos que tinham mais força no relato. E, bom, o trabalho deles, que acho que a Caru agora pode falar mais sobre esse processo de reescrita das cenas durante os ensaios, né?
After that we chose the character, we wrote the film, and what you are seeing on the screen is this new version, this new structure that we developed together. But then the actress, the cast entered in the film, and they grew so much the content and the screenplay. There was much time of rehearsal, there was much time of improvisation. Some scenes fell, they disappeared of the film. Some scenes that were not so important, they become suddenly very important and relevant. And now Caru is maybe talking a little bit about this process with the actress.
Well, when the actors and actresses came to the project, a lot of things changed, and a lot of things that weren't so strong in the script became more stronger in the movie. And so because we had a lot of collaboration by the actors, actresses and the crew. Because that's what I keep saying. I think I wanted to make this movie as horizontal as possible. I know that this is hard because filmmaking is very strict, but we try to be as horizontal as possible because we are telling a story about other women and about skateboarders, and we need to hear what they had to say about their own character. So in the after the rehearsal, we rewrote mostly the dialogues based on what we had rehearsed. So, and when we were shooting the scenes, there were a lot of improvisation. Like when the last scene, when the girls speak out, I remember of saying to you, right? Well, think that all the things that you wanted to say to a skater boy, and say it right now because it's gonna be on screen and a lot of people will hear.
And just to add something to what Caru said, and to answer your question about what was written and what was filmed, we had to deal with some adversities like rain, for example. We had a tight schedule to film, and that scene that Bia, it's full blinded and she's listening to things, we were supposed to go to the street and film it on the street, and it was raining a lot. And that scene was we're not going to shoot that because we didn't have time to. And then I remember I suggest Caru to bring the scene inside the house and make some changes, like with the things in the house, and she said, let's do it. And I said, let's put the lights down and use the cell phone. The camera will hand that light of the cell phone. And I think that just to show how horizontal the direction of Caru is, she always very open to suggestions and how can we do that and how can we express the same thing in different ways, and just to add a little bit.
Maravilhosa! Essa aqui é você, viu? Obrigada a todo mundo. Sobre a sua pergunta, eu só queria falar que para mim foi muito surpreendente, porque a Caru, quando a gente chegou, ela tinha um roteiro com umas ideias e ela falou pra gente tal, mas eu lembro que no último ensaio, assim, o roteiro já estava completamente com as nossas falas e até com gírias, e tinha mudado completamente. E as meninas que apareceram aqui, elas são realmente minhas amigas, e então tem muita coisa no filme que era muito natural pra gente, porque a gente já tinha que se impor na rua de qualquer jeito. A gente realmente anda de skate e a gente realmente tinha que gritar todo dia e dar um soco em todos os moleques, porque senão eles são insuportáveis.
So thank you for being here. It was a surprise in the process because Caru, the director, she came for us with the screenplay and a lot of ideas. She told us, and we started to work on it. And I remember in the last rehearsal, when I was seeing the screenplay, the dialogues were already mine, were already ours. The girls also appearing in the film, they are my friends. And it was very important for us during the process of rehearsal and constructing the film, because we were really saying what we want to say and what we need to say to these fucking boys that are there.
I think we have another question up there in the middle. Please.
Thank you for this beautiful movie. I'm curious to know why or how come did you choose the name Baguidá?
The script is based loosely based on a book called Baguidá, the Skater Boy. And at one point I decided that I wanted to tell a story about a girl, and then about a skater girl. And then when I was choosing her name, it's going to be Tatiana, that is the birth name of Baguidá. And Rafaela and I thought, why she can't be named Baguidá? Why she because she's already a girl who doesn't accept the labels of society. So if she identifies herself as a woman, but she doesn't really need to have a girl name. So why can't she call Baguidá? That's why she's.
One more question to our left.
Thank you for the film. I would like to know if you say the original was a skater boy and he changes to a skater girl. Is the skater scene in Brazil have there been a lot of girls, or is this an exception that there are a lot of girls in the crowd of this group? How do you find the cast? Have you made him, especially, of course, the main character?
Tá. O casting, eu tava andando skate na rua e aí a nossa produtora de elenco, Paula Preta, chegou na praça assim e veio falar com a gente, falar que ela tava fazendo um filme e a gente achou que ela era louca e que ela tava chapada e tava tirando com a nossa cara, mas a gente foi no teste e começamos a fazer preparação, foi uma doideira. E a cena do skate.
So I was how the casting happened, and I was skating in the streets in São Paulo, in the center, and the casting director, Paula Preta, she appeared in the skate park, and she saw me, and she told me she was doing this film and that she wanted us to try the character, and I thought she was completely crazy. But I went to the casting, and that's how we arrived there.
E em relação à cena do skate feminino, tem crescido muito, é incrível porque eu comecei a andar de skate há 1 ano e meio, 2 anos, e quando eu comecei, eu e minhas amigas, as meninas elas não estavam na rua, elas estavam em pistas fechadas. E agora as meninas estão na rua e cada vez mais na rua, mas São Paulo tem um protagonismo muito grande que, tipo, o skate gira muito em São Paulo, mas Brasil é o país com mais skatista depois de Nova York, então, tipo... Então, lá realmente tem uma cena e está crescendo cada vez mais as mulheres andando de skate, porque elas estão vendo que elas também podem, e existem inúmeros coletivos agora no Brasil. Tem um que foi o que me apareceu com 30 meninas andando na rua, que chama Britney's Crew, que é um coletivo do Rio de Janeiro, e a gente se junta muito para fortalecer uma outra, é muito real.
So, the scene of skaters in Brazil is growing. When I started to skate, the girls, the female presence was not on the streets. It was difficult to find girls in public spaces skating. They were skating in more private places where they felt more comfortable. Although it's true that we have a big scene of skating. São Paulo is the second skating city after New York. But now the women are starting to feel more comfortable and starting to go to the streets to reclaim their space and to skate there. And including, I'm very happy there are some collectives, female collectives, that are going to the street. There is, what's the? Britney's Crew. It's a very important one for her. So yes, women are standing up and these collectives are fulfilling the streets nowadays, although in the beginning it was very uncomfortable for her.
We have time for one last question, and I think here is somebody who wants to talk. I don't know if we still have a mic in the audience. Otherwise, I take mine, it's no problem.
Thank you. Congratulations, parabéns. Há uma excelente sincronia entre a direção de fotografia, o elenco e a trilha sonora. Uma intimidade que às vezes parece que a câmera está andando de skate. Queria saber como é que vocês conseguiram alcançar essa sincronia. If you want me to translate it, I would like to know about the synchronicity between the camera, the crew, the cast, and the soundtrack. Because sometimes it appears like the camera is on the skateboard with them.
Yes, the camera is actually on the skateboard. We had a camera operator for the skate park scenes. He's on roller skates going after them. But when they're not skating, the camera is very loose, it's handheld, I'm always looking for them. It's something that Caru asked me since the beginning. And especially for the skater scenes, when they're hanging out, they're talking. We had like 2 more professional actors that they kind of knew the lines, but what they talk is like every take is different. So the camera is always like chasing each one or going after reactions, and it's kind of the camera, me, I am one of them when we are having this kind of scenes. Also, when we were starting to talk about skaters, we know that skaters, they film themselves a lot. They're always filming their tricks and what they do in the skater park, and we wanted to have that as well in the film. And we didn't know like what we were gonna have, if it was a cell phone, iPhone, Android. And when Grace was chosen to do Baguidá, she had her own camera. It's a handy cam, a very small one, the one you see in the film. And she's always filming herself, so we ran some tests with her camera in the big screen before we start shooting, and Caru loved it. It was really great. So all the scenes that you see Baghdad's camera, it's actually Grace filming. When we said action, I started to roll my camera and she started to roll her camera as well. So it was easier for Willem to cut, so it's always in the same shot, it's perfect, and her framing is awesome, and I'm gonna give the award for him.
Esse trabalho foi muito legal porque isso foi muito sincronizado, assim. Tanto as câmeras das duas assim, foram muito importantes na montagem, e o fato de pensar a montagem como um documentário, porque como tinha muito improviso, era necessário deixar livre, e as câmeras são bem livres e os personagens estão bem livres também, que isso é uma coisa legal que a Caru fez, que é a importância de deixar eles soltos para não ter nenhuma presa, nenhuma circunstância que amarrasse eles e fluísse as cenas.
No, yeah, this work was very cool. It was a very interesting process for me because the camera, as she said, were in sync. Both cameras became very important. All the material was useful, but he had both cameras in the edition room, and that allowed him, that brought him to think during the edition that to edit as if this film was a documentary, because there was a lot of space for spontaneity during the shooting. The camera was free and the actors, they were also free, and that was so important for the result, and that's also with this dynamic of the 2 cameras he could find this tone.
Outra coisa sobre a trilha que foi muito importante, a gente estava montando o filme em Madrid e a gente tinha que entregar um corte rápido, o primeiro corte. Então, geralmente eu pesquiso músicas, tal, porque era a intenção nossa desde o começo de que as músicas que a gente achasse legal iam entrar no filme. E o que aconteceu foi o seguinte, eu falei, Caru, você seleciona, ela selecionou mais de 40 músicas, que aí eu pedi para ela selecionar e baixar já no formato que eu queria montar, porque eu não queria perder tempo, assim, porque eu tinha que fazer rápido. E aí ela me entregou essas músicas, e aí a gente escolheu, eu escolhi várias músicas, ela escolheu também junto, e aí são as músicas que estão no filme. Basicamente são essas. E uma coisa importante é que quando a Caru falava com a Grace, que ela fala uma coisa que era importante, que o skate, quando você está andando, você sai meio de ação ali, você sai da realidade. E a ideia com a música era justamente quando a música entrasse, ela dá uma... Ela sobrepor ali a cena que estava só real, assim. E tem também tem 3 músicas que são importantes, que são as músicas das fábulas, que foram as músicas que foram compostas antes, e as meninas ensaiaram junto com essas músicas.
So about the soundtrack, it's also about the spontaneity of the process, because they were editing the film in Madrid. The first cut they had to deliver very fast, and in this hurry, the editor, normally he really likes to think about the soundtrack and all the songs that are in the film, but he didn't have the time. It was his intention of Caru to do this detailed process of the soundtrack. They didn't have time, so he asked Caru to get the music. Caru downloaded the music, gave to him 40 songs, and then from there they started to select it, and that became actually the soundtrack that we are hearing, so a very spontaneous process in a rush sometimes. And one thing that for him is also important is Caru, when she started to work with Grace, the actress, she used it to say that when you are on skate, time stops and the reality transforms. Your perception of reality is very different. So the soundtracks try to give you this flavor, to make the scenes less objective, less depictive, and bring this normality, this everyday life to something more sublime and more poetic.
É importante também que as músicas são camadas, que ela dialoga o tempo todo com o filme, justamente com a ação do filme.
And just one thing is that the music, it's a layer between layers. So the music is not pushing something that's not there in the film, but trying to enter in the right moment and bring a truth to the surface.
Thank you so much. I think we have to end. I'm really sorry, but thank you all for coming. Thank you for bringing this film to the Berlinale.
This is our last session. I'm getting very emotional. It has been like so amazing here, and I really wanted to thank the festival. It was the best festival I've ever been, and for so many reasons, because it is an important festival. But besides that, you were so warm, and we felt so welcome here. And by you too, like the 4 sessions were like, I could never dream to be here and to have this kind of reaction from the audience. And thank you very much.
You are the best.
This will not be the last screening of the film, I'm sure, just here at Berlinale. So if there are still some young people in the audience, I just wanted to let you know that we have our film questionnaires at the exit, so you can fill them in, leave your feedback on that film, and you can apply for the youth jury next year. So thank you so much. Have a nice afternoon.